welcome to another episode of How to Cook Like Chef Bob. I'm Chef Bob. We're here at the Uptown Martinsville Artisan Center. And today I'd like to give you a demonstration of knife skills. How to cut the vegetables. We're all going to probably get a crock pot for Christmas. You've got a nice piece of meat you bought from the store. Let me show you how to deal with the vegetables so you can make a great dinner in your crock pot. First of all, probably the most difficult is how to cut up an onion. So I have an onion here. I've already peeled it. A nice sharp chef knife. Have our cutting board. We're going to cut this onion. Always cut your onion in half. Don't cut it with the rings. You do that to make onion rings, but cut the onion so it's not for onion rings. Set that flat side down. We're going to make a cut with your fingers on top of the onion so there's no chance the knife's going to cut you. Make a horizontal cut 3/4 of the way through the onion. Like that. Now with the tip of your knife, go ahead and make some cuts at the width of how big you want your cuts with the tip of the knife. Here we're going through here at the size we want the onions. Now the part of this here I didn't cut, that's where I'm going to grab on the onion. Then I just grip the onion, and now with your chef knife, and I think you've seen people on TV, I'll put the tip of the knife down and I'll get a little nice smooth chopping motion. You can practice that, and the tip of my knife will stay down almost the whole time we're chopping. So here we go. I'm going to take a practice few cuts and then right over the onion. A nice smooth motion. Now notice my fingers are curled. As my knife gets closer to my fingers, there's nothing for the knife to cut. So you can actually go right up against your fingers with cutting that onion. Very good tip for never to cut yourself. And then you have a nice diced onion. This end piece here that you didn't cut, you can take a few swipes with that. And I have a pan here for our vegetables, which we're going to throw in the crock pot with our nice piece of chuck roast. All right, let's move on to some different vegetables. The vegetables that have a lot of length, like onions and celery, what you want to do is take advantage of the length. So what you want, first thing you'll take is your chef knife and you'll strip them lengthways. You can do 2 or 3 strips. Again, depends on how big you want your vegetables. If you're doing a stew, you'll want the pieces a little bit bigger. If you're doing a fancy sauce, or you may want the dice a little bit smaller. So you dice them to the size you want. We'll try to show that again. Kind of put your arm out to the side and try to do straight through strips. Try to get as straight as possible. We'll do another one. And strips. Once you get the strips, line all your celery up. And again, we're going to grip the celery. I like to use the 2-finger grip, where I have 2 fingers that hold and control the vegetables, and these 3 fingers in the middle will hold it from the top, so that each finger is performing a function. Again, the same technique, the tip of the knife down. And again, with a very smooth pattern, we're going to chop through the vegetables. We're just going to move into the vegetables and chop them. Keep a nice smooth rhythm going. When you begin to get close to your fingers, you can go ahead and move them back. And again, the 2 fingers on the side, 3 on the top that control the food. Now you're still controlling the food as we chop through. You see a lot of chefs on TV with a very nice, smooth cutting motion. It takes a little bit of practice to get it home. The one tip is, again, keep your tip of the knife on the board and cut in this part of the knife. A lot of people will be cut in the front of the knife and you don't have power there. Most of your power is on this part of the knife. So again, move the tip of your knife up the cutting board. Grip it, and again, very smooth through the food. And again, you can go right up to your finger. And we'll scrape that in here. So with a little practice, you can very quickly be cutting vegetables like a professional. With a carrot, now notice the carrot's hard to chop and it's very round, so it can tip and cause cuts. So I'm going to hold the tip of the carrot with my fingers, and the knife's going to go here where my hand isn't. I'm going to put the tip in the carrot, force through the carrot. Carrots are hard, so it takes a little muscle. Lay that carrot flat. Another with the same. Again, tip of the fingers here, put the tip of the knife in, and finish through the carrot. Carrot's not an easy vegetable to chop, and again with the same motion, we're going to strip the carrot according to how large or small you want your dice. The trick is always to, in case the knife slips, that your hand is out of the way, that there's nothing in the way of your knife, just in case. We never know. Even chefs make mistakes and cut themselves. So once you've got all the carrots stripped, if you have a really thick carrot, you can do another cut. If you want a smaller cut, take another cut through until you're happy with the size of all your carrots. And again, same thing, line all your carrots up. The 5 fingers, 2 on the outside, 3 in the middle. Grip the carrots so you have control over them. Same cutting motion before. Once you learn this motion, you can practice it. You can become a nice, smooth chopper. You'd be surprised how quickly you can cut vegetables. We'll do the carrots a little faster to show you can gain some speed once. And again, you can cut right up to the end. This one didn't cut, so again, just grab that one and finish it off. There's carrots very quickly. Most people, onion, celery, carrots, that's what they'll want to throw in their stock pot. You've got your giant roast in the stock pot. You just throw that in there. You go off to work, put it on low, you come home, and you got a full meal. Well, really quickly, some people like to do green peppers. It's a very hard vegetable to cut because it's so round. I'll just do a quick demo on how to cut the green pepper. There's several ways. Some people cut the tops off. I like to cut it in half first. And then, of course, there's seeds and stuff inside. Real easily pop this out. Just pop this like this so the seeds come out. You can, if they don't come out, you can take the rest of the white part out. Once again, just pop that middle part out. Just pop it so the seeds come out. There you are. Now, to get the pepper flat, because it's so round, a lot of people recommend cutting the top and bottom off. And we can dice that later. And then you have a very nice equal strip. Now, with that, you can cut strips using the same motion. And you can have strips like for a salad, or then you can turn them sideways. And with the same cutting motion we did with the other ones, you can dice them up. Some people may want peppers in there. Now, you can cut it with the ends on, but again, the ends are round. It's a little bit harder, but you can just go ahead and cut the strips up. And again, line them all up. It's a little bit harder because the ends are round. And again, with the knife, it's nice, smooth motions through the pepper. There's no problem with throwing the pepper in there with the rest of these vegetables. It'll make for a great beef stew when you come home from work. One last thing really quickly. People ask me all the time, Chef Bob, how do you dice garlic? Well, obviously, if you have a small food processor, that would be the best way. Take a bunch of cloves, put them in the food processor. If you want to do it with a knife, it is not that hard. If you use this same technique, it's just consider it like a tiny, small onion. Put the peeled clove of garlic down with the knife as a smasher. We're going to take our hand and we're going to smash this garlic down, and then the shell should come right off of it. Peel that, and then we have an exposed piece of garlic. Now, it is very small. So again, we're going to, with the tip, with our knife in between our fingers, just cut that in half. And then the same way we did the onion, we're just going to cut a few strips. This is something you can do when you've had a little practice. I don't recommend this to start out. And then again, believe it or not, you can line them up. With the same motion, just dice those up. Believe it or not, there's very quickly some diced garlic. So, and that's a little more advanced topic, but there is some diced garlic. So, this has been another episode of How to Cook Like Chef Bob. I hope when you get your crock pot for Christmas, you buy some vegetables, practice your cutting techniques. Thanks for joining me today. We're here at the Artisan Center for P&HCC. Come take a cooking class. We have many different topics. Thanks for coming by tonight.